All right, welcome back in. Happy Friday. It's time for the DDSN Diamond Betting Show. It's May the 8th, 2:59 p.m. Central Time, episode 32. We had a very small slate yesterday. I only posted a couple shorts. We did go 2-0, which was a nice little bounce back from the past couple days before that. We're still in the green on the season. Our sides are up 19 units. Our totals are still over 500, but we got to have a smooth weekend and bounce back, but we're in great shape. I want to say thank you to everyone that's been liking, subscribing along on TikTok and YouTube. We do appreciate it. Go ahead and leave us a like again and leave us a comment. Let us know where you're from, who your favorite team is, what y'all want to hear more of. If there's a game you want player props on, let me know and we'll get into that. No player props on this specific card, but without further ado, let's get into it. First game of the day. We've got the Houston Astros plus 108, Mike Burrows on the mound against the Cincinnati Reds minus 119, Lodolo on the mound. I like the Reds here. Nick Lodolo's making his first start of the season, and we know that the Reds were, we had him to pull off the upset, against the Cubs 3 times, and they blew it in the 9th inning twice, once in the 10th. And then got blown out in game 4. So we were wrong there, but Astros struggle against left-handed pitching. They struggle on the road. Lodolo making his first start of the season. I think this is just what the Reds need. And I'm going with Cincinnati minus 119. Let's get the win. All right, next game, Colorado Rockies plus 187. Chase Dollander on the mound against the Philadelphia Phillies. Phillies are minus 208. Jesus Luzardo on the mound. Andrew Painter got absolutely destroyed last night against the Sacramento Athletics. I did think the Phillies were going to win, but, our guy Andrew Painter, I'm not too sure what they're going to do with him. Are they going to send him down? Because last night was a massacre, and he has lost his last, I believe, 3 or 4 starts. So it's been pretty rough for him since his first start of the season. But I don't really like anything in this game. I did want it to go under, but the first 5 was 3.5, and then the game total is 7.5. And y'all know that's a little too light when it comes to the Phillies and the Rockies. So I passed this game. It's a pass for me. Next game, Sacramento Athletics plus 119. Jacob Lopez on the mound against the Baltimore Orioles. Orioles are minus 131. Kyle Bradish on the mound. Orioles have been struggling. It has not been pretty for the Orioles. The Athletics, they're in a little bit of a cold slump, but even then, they're still like in first place in the AL West. If they're not in first place, they're a game or half a game behind the Seattle Mariners. They're very much in this, but the Orioles are terrible against left-handed pitching, and Jacob Lopez has been strong for the Athletics all season. And I think that Sacramento can build off of that huge game yesterday against Philadelphia. I like the Athletics here at plus 119. I think the number's totally wrong here. Too much respect, once again, for the Orioles and Kyle Bradish. Give me the Athletics all day. Next game is the LA Angels plus 138. Reed Detmer's on the mound against the Toronto Blue Jays. Blue Jays are minus 152 with Dylan Cease on the mound. Pretty big number for Toronto. These two met earlier in the season, and the Angels actually did beat the Blue Jays. But, I really don't, this Angels team, ever since they started opening up Pokemon cards, apparently, they've been hitting the ball, and they've won 4 out of their last 5 games, 5 out of the last 6, somewhere around there. This Angels team starting to, heat back up where it was earlier in the season, but it's quite the hole to dig themselves out of. Mike Trout, Zach Neto's trying to get these guys back in it. I kind of, Blue Jays do hit left-handed pitching well. I don't know if I could trust the Angels. I kind of do like the Angels here. But again, on the road against Dylan Cease, what do we get from this Angels team? They did have a great series against the White Sox, who the White Sox swept them about a couple weeks ago. So, I don't want to put too much into that series. So I don't really like anything here. Too expensive with the Blue Jays, and I'm not ready to back this Angels team. I kind of want to see how they do in this series, at least in this game, until we move forward with them. So I'm passing on this game. Next game is the Washington Nationals, plus 121. Foster Griffin on the mound against the Miami Marlins. Marlins are starting rookie Robbie Smalling. He's going to be a minus 133 favorite as a rookie making his first debut in Major League Baseball. Well, I have some bad news for you, Robbie. They set you up because the Washington Nationals eat left-handed pitching for breakfast. I think this is too steep of a number for the Miami Marlins, who have not been hitting well necessarily, especially at home recently. And, this Nationals team, they're the real deal offensively against left-handed pitching. It may not seem like it, but they are. I think this pricing is totally wrong here. Give me the Nationals and Foster Griffin, who has been lights out as a lefty for the Nationals. Give me the Nationals plus 121 on the money line. Next game is the Tampa Bay Rays plus 116. Jesse Slaughton's on the mound against the Boston Red Sox. Red Sox are minus 128. Conley early on the mound. Same story, different game. We've got Conley early. I guess he's considered a rookie. Is a favorite over the Rays, who have won 10 games in a row, I believe. So I'm not 10 games in a row. They've definitely won 9 of their last 10. I think they did lose one. No, they swept the Giants. So then maybe they do have 10 wins in a row. I don't understand this number. I know Early's good, but he's lost to the Rays before. And I do obviously we love Tampa Bay. We have them to win the AL East. And again, they're an underdog. It's just the pricing does not make any sense. They shouldn't be the underdog. They should be the ones favored by minus 128. Red Sox should be proving to the market and to the Tampa Bay Rays that they should be favored, not the other way around. Give me Tampa Bay all day, plus 116. They destroy left-handed pitching, and they did it last night, and I think they'll do it again against Early. Next game, the Twins, plus 125 with lefty rookie Connor Prelip on the mound, who's been pretty solid for Minnesota. Against the Cleveland Guardians, the Indians are minus 138. Lefty Parker Messick on the mound. Again, we're long on this Indians team. We do have Parker Messick to win the Cy Young as well. Obviously, it's a long shot, but it's still very possible. And again, I'm not understanding this number because the Indians kill left-handed pitching. Prelip's never faced the Indians, and he's going to have to face them today on the road. And the Guardians love to go against left-handed pitching. We're getting a nice price here at Parker Messick. Give me the Guardians minus 138. Next game, the Detroit Tigers plus 129 with Kiter Montero on the mound against the Kansas City Royals. Royals are minus 142. Chris Bubik on the mound. We've talked about this. The Royals, all of a sudden, they have an offense. They found an offense. Bobby Witt Jr. is not the only one doing all the work here. He's getting some help from the supporting cast. They're not the best players, but they're finally helping out. And this pitching staff's been, I would say, having a really strong season. They just haven't had any offensive help. And, this Tigers team, they do struggle against left-handed pitching. They're not the best against them, especially as of late, and they're terrible on the road. And, they did not have the best series this past weekend against the Boston Red Sox. So, I don't like the Tigers here. Even though we're paying a little bit of a high price here with the Kansas City Royals, I think the Royals they've got some momentum. They went from last place all the way to just behind the Guardians. After the Guardians, I think they won 2 out of 3 in that series. Yeah, give me Chris Bubik, who's been lights out. Lefty, give me the Royals minus 142. It's a little pricey, but again, this is the right side in my opinion. So the pricing is right on the head. Even if it was minus 160, I don't think I'm ready to get there with the Royals. So minus 140, we can't really complain about that pricing. Next game, Seattle Mariners, minus 132. Emerson Hancock on the mound against the Chicago White Sox. White Sox are minus 120. Sean Burke on the mound. White Sox just finished getting pounded by the Angels. Angels got a little revenge on them. So this should be an interesting game. Emerson Hancock's been great all season. Same thing with Sean Burke. But, Mariners, the thing about the Mariners that kind of scares me here is they just came off probably the biggest win this season for them, and winning 2 out of 3, giving the Braves their first losing series of the season. But now they're on the road going up against the White Sox. For me, I think we're going to have a pitcher's duel here. The wind is kind of blowing in there on the south side. So go ahead and give me the first 5 under 4.5. Minus 125 and under 8 for the game, minus 109. We know anything can happen with these White Sox games, but for me, this is kind of what I'm liking here is a pitcher's duel with the wind. Not only the wind blowing in, I do like both of these pitchers and both of these teams. I couldn't really pick a side here, but I do like the game to go under. New York Yankees minus 120. Max Fried on the mound against the Milwaukee Brewers. Brewers are plus 109 with Jacob Mezrowski on the mound. Really good pitching matchup here. I did think about going with the under, but the way this Yankees offense has been playing, we've been playing the under with the Yankees, and the Rangers this past week. And, some of these games, they should have been going under. I think we finally got one or two to go under, but, they just keep racking up runs, even though we have Mizorowski at home, who has been great, at least in the beginning of the year. I just can't get there with the Brewers just yet. This Yankees team is hot. And like I said, they haven't been playing the best competition. But if we're getting Max Fried, a lefty, minus 120 on the road with a streaking Yankees team, I just can't pass that up. With the Brewers, even though they have Jackson Chourio back in the lineup, we don't really, this Brewers team is so hot and cold. Like literally every game they'll score 10 runs and then they'll score 1 run. Almost every other game. So I'm going to go with the more consistent team here at a nice price with a strong pitcher who's pitched great against the Brewers historically. Give me Max Fried minus 120. Next game is the Chicago Cubs minus 132. Ben Brown on the mound against the Texas Rangers. Rangers are plus 120. Kumar Rocker on the mound. Yeah, I mean, I did love those spots with the Reds against the Cubs. But, I mean, what can you do? The Cubs just came from behind in the most ridiculous fashion in all 3 games. You just have to tip your hat, move on. Cubs have something special with them going right now, and that's the opposite of what the Texas Rangers have, which is absolutely nothing. Although they are playing in a terrible division, so it's up for grabs. And Kumar Rocker has been hot and cold, mostly cold this season. And even though Ben Brown isn't one of the stud pitchers for the Cubs, everything's going right now with the Cubs. Even though they're going on the road, Texas doesn't play well at home, so I kind of think that washes out. I have to go with the Cubs here at this price. I can't trust the Rangers. Can't trust the Rangers offense. Josh Young's like the only one who does hit the ball. There's just not a lot. There's just not a lot there for me. So I'd rather just go with the Cubs. Even though they're on the road, Cubs are more than capable of winning road games. And at minus 132, I just think that's a pretty nice price compared to how the Rangers have been playing. And they don't close games. It's the opposite. Cubs know how to finish games, come from behind, and win games. Rangers are the complete opposite. They'll have a big lead and they'll blow it. And they really don't make very many comebacks once they go down a multiple runs. So I like the Cubs here. Next game, the New York Mets minus 126 with Nolan McLean on the mound against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks are plus 114 with Ryan Nelson on the mound. These two actually met earlier in the season, and the Diamondbacks kind of pieced up the New York Mets and McLean. So I do like the Diamondbacks. Although the Diamondbacks haven't been playing well as of late, especially at home after starting the season red hot at home, they have had their struggles, and the same can be said about the Mets, but the Mets are playing much better now. I just can't lay the number with Nolan McLean. But knowing him, I mean, every time we bet on the Mets and Nolan McLean, he's lost, and it hasn't been pretty. So if we do take the Diamondbacks, fully expect for the Mets to win this game. But for me, taking the Diamondbacks at home at plus price, I think that's the way to go. But, McLean has not treated us well this season. Next game is St. Louis Cardinals plus 129. Max McGreevy on the mound against the San Diego Padres. Padres are minus 142. Griff Canny on the mound. Really heavy price here with the San Diego Padres, but I don't disagree with it. Main reason being the Padres have destroyed Max McGreevy in the past. 2 of his starts, they have gotten to him. So I really don't disagree with the pricing here, as much as it seems like they're a little inflated and we should go towards the Cardinals at plus 129. The data just doesn't back that up. Instead, it's telling me to go with the Padres here, and that's what I'm going to do. I got the Padres money line at minus 142, and because they're a home team, that's why I wanted to take the money line. But I really do like the Padres on the run line as well, plus 146. But I want to say every run line that we took, only with the Dodgers, they didn't cover, and they made crazy comebacks in the 9th inning. But because it was the last at bat, we only got to win by 1 run. So that's why I have a little bit of a hedge with the Padres money line, but I do like the run line as well. Next game, the Atlanta Braves plus 105. Chris Sale on the mound against the LA Dodgers. Dodgers minus 116 with Emmett Sheehan on the mound. We do have Chris Sale to win the Cy Young. Will that happen? I don't know. Shohei Ohtani is having a great season, so we'll have to wait and see. But In this one, Chris Hill hasn't been lights out, and he hasn't pitched against the Dodgers very often, but I do like this one to stay under. I think we get an under game here. Emmett Sheehan, we faded him against the Cardinals, and he got blown up just like we kind of expected, but I think he'll have a much better game today and bounce back from that. So give me the first 5 under 4 runs, minus 115, as well as the game under 8 runs, minus 115. Last game of the night, Pittsburgh Pirates minus 103. Chad Modlinski on the mound against the San Francisco Giants. Vitellos are minus 107. Robbie Ray on the mound. Again, I think we get a pitcher's duel here. Can't really trust these offenses. The Pittsburgh Pirates offense, they have been winning games, but, they've only been scoring a couple runs. And same thing can be said about the Giants. They don't really score any runs, but you never know here. I do feel like Robbie Ray and the Giants is the play on the money line, but the Giants are just so ice cold right now. I can't get there. Pirates have been playing well, especially on the road against the Arizona Diamondbacks. I do think we get an under game here. I think we get a little bit of a pitcher's duel. So give me a first 5 under 4 runs, minus 115. And under 7.5 runs, minus 108. That's everything for today. That's episode 32. I want to say thank you again to everyone that's been watching, liking, subscribing, following along. Go ahead and leave us some comments. Let us know where you're from, your favorite team, what y'all want to hear more of. But other than that, that's everything for us. Green is good. Good luck to us. Let's keep the wins coming, and we'll see y'all tomorrow.